Welcome back to another episode of Don't Shoot the Messenger. It's myself, Culturecams, and we're back for what's this? Episode 5? Episode 6? Episode 5. We're back for episode 5. As I said, if what I say makes you mad, it makes you mad. I'm just here to deliver my truths. All right. So today, this week, I've been thinking. There's been a lot of things that have been going on, but this week, a very interesting thing that did happen is Robert Lewandowski getting his 70th goal in the Champions League. So we all know that means he's definitely going to end up third to Messi and Ronaldo, because Raul's got 71 and he's going to score more goals in the Champions League, of course. So I want to talk about, first I'm going to talk about himself, then I'm going to give you guys something, an insight, and I want to know you lot's thoughts on it. So 70 goals in the Champions League he's got in 93 games, which is absolute ridiculous ratio. And I think everyone right now can admit that he is probably the best striker in the world. He is the best striker in the world. He's got the accolades now. He's got the goals. He's got the trophies, everything. He's done it all now. So he's basically completed his career. Scored 55, I think it was last season, 15 in the Champions League. Ridiculous record. So we all talk about how good he is and how great he can be, etc. But where does he rank? So this is my first question for people. This week is going to be a lot of questions. Where does he rank in your all-time strikers that you have seen? So I will say my top 3 off the bat. R9, Henry, and Luis Suarez. Those are the 3 best strikers that I've seen with my own eyes on a consistent basis. I think they all offer something more than goals. They all give me the wow factor. When I watch all of them, I'm saying, wow, I can't believe what I just seen. I've never seen a playmaker striker who can score as many goals as Thierry Henry. I've never seen a skillful striker as R9 who can score as many goals as a skillful player as R9 who can score as many goals. And I've never seen a striker with a collection of goals like Luis Suarez. Right foot, back header, shoulders. He can score all types of goals. He gives me that wow factor. So for me, those are my top 3. But who are your top 3? So I'm very interested to hear who you guys' top 3 is, because I know Lewandowski, he's creeping up in people's lists. I've spoken to quite a few people lately, and they have him higher than Zlatan. They have him higher than Rooney. They have him higher than Aguero. For me, it's tough. It's tough where he's gonna rank in that list, because as I said, I like strikers who give me more than goals. Not saying that Lewandowski is just goals. His general play is good. But I like strikers that... The only time I really say wow with Robert is when he scores, when he puts the ball in the back of the net. I don't need to say wow with Suarez. Suarez doesn't have to score, and I'm saying wow. Henry doesn't have to score, I'm saying wow. R9. And that's how I see it. Wayne Rooney. Like those... When I look at them players, I'm just like... I'm in awe of them. No disrespect to Levin, I'm not really in awe, but I know I can accept that he's a ridiculous goal scorer. So it's just one of those ones. But another thing that just happened, and it actually just happened just before I recorded this. Harry Kane, 200th goal for Spurs in 300 games. Now, this is where I'm going to start getting into things. I'm going to talk about the top 3 gunmen. And remember I said the word gunmen. I didn't say strikers. I said gunmen. I'm going to talk about the top 3 gunmen that I think have been playing in the recent times. And I think are Sergio Aguero, Lewandowski, and Harry Kane. If you're talking about guys that are going to put the ball in the back of the net, clinical finishing, 1 chance, 1 goal, for me, those are the 3 strikers. For me, that I'll basically guarantee you, boom, it's easy money. Word to KD. So the way I see it, those are my 3 who I say are the top 3 gunmen. And honorable mentions, you got Aubameyang. Different. He's a goal scorer. He puts the ball in the back of the net. Cavani. Them type of players. And when I say gunmen, I don't mean the Benzemas. I don't mean the Suarez, because I feel like they offer me more than just that. I just mean guys that will put the ball in the back of the net guaranteed. Is there anyone else I'm missing out?
Falcao.
No, that's previous. That's previous. Yeah, you know what I mean? The modern era, you know what I mean? Let's go from like... Yeah, let's go... I'll say let's go from about, 2012 onwards, I'll probably say. You know what I'm trying to say? So now, when you talk about Harry Kane, people seem to say, like, if I say to you, is Harry Kane better than Levin? You'll say no chance. Levin clears him. That's what I hear a lot. I've asked a couple people, they'll say Levin clears him. And I was like, why does Levin clear him? What makes people say he gets cleared? And people are going to think, okay, trophies probably. Does having a better career make you a better player? I'm going to ask that. Does having a better career make you a better player? Because if so, why is Steven Gerrard in arguments with Scholes and Lampard? Shouldn't even be in the discussion if we're talking about trophies. But he is, because he's such a good player, right? So when you talk about Harry Kane, instantly people say he's not won anything. He's not done this, he's not done that. And that's interesting. So what I did is, you guys know on this show, I always bring facts, I always bring stats. I compiled Harry Kane, Lewandowski, and Aguero, the top three, as I said, their careers, and I compiled their goals and their etc. So I'll break it down for you. So Harry Kane, I'll start with Lewandowski because he's the standard. He's the standard. He's where everyone's trying to get to. So he has 448 goals in 666 games. Ratio is absolutely it's horrible to think. It's disgusting. Then you've got Lewandowski. Then you've got, that's Dortmund. That was his Dortmund. That's his and Bayern, right? When you look at, he averages 36 goals a season over 10 years. So think about those numbers. He averages 36 goals a season over 10 years, right? And averages around 40 goals a season for Bayern. Kun Aguero averages 25 goals a season through his European career. But he burst onto the scene. When he came through, he burst onto the scene way more than Lewandowski and way more than Harry Kane. Aguero was a certified wonder kid. Them two were not. So I'll be a bit easy on him in terms of, 25 a season through his European career. Because, of course, when he came through, he's young, he's a teenager, he's learning his way. He's still bagging goals, but it's not going to be as high. So I thought, okay, that's through Atletico Madrid and City. So I said, all right, you know what? Let's get just his City ones. Aguero averages 28.5 goals over his time at City. 9 seasons, 28.5 goals a season. And when you look at it, he's been quite injury prone. Imagine all the games that he's missed. Imagine all the games that he's just come off the bench, or the games where he's not really fit, anything like that. So Aguero and Lewandowski are usually seen as the two top strikers in the world, right? And I just gave you their averages. Lewandowski, 36 goals a season over 10 years. And Aguero, 28 goals over 9 seasons. Then if I give you Harry Kane's ones, Harry Kane has 232 goals in 348 games for England and Tottenham. He averages 30 goals a season over the last 6 seasons. So in his 6 seasons with Spurs, he's averaged 30. And remember, I just said Aguero averages 28. So Harry Kane playing for Spurs averages higher than Kun Aguero, right? He averages just under Lewandowski. Lewandowski averages 36. So he is really the standard. But when you consider Harry Kane's playing for Spurs, Harry Kane's playing for Spurs, he's playing for a lesser team. He's not in the best team in the world. And you would probably say, I'm sure everyone would agree, the Premier League is probably a tougher league than the Bundesliga. So what is Harry Kane not comparable to Lewandowski, or is Lewandowski in a better situation, better environment than Harry Kane? That's the question. So I thought people will probably say, Lewandowski's done it in the Champions League and Harry Kane's not really had the opportunity. Well, Harry Kane's never done it in the Champions League, blah, blah, blah. They'll say all of those type of things, which is understandable because, as I keep saying, Lewandowski is the level. He is the standard because of how consistent he's been. Harry Kane may fall off. You never really know. To do it over 10 years is remarkable. But Harry Kane, so I'm going to give you Lewandowski's goal scoring record in Europe. 70 goals in 93 games. Aguero has 40 goals in 72 games in the Champions League. Harry Kane has 20 goals in 24 Champions League games. Take that in. He has 20 goals in 24 Champions League games playing for Tottenham Hotspur. So what really is separating Harry Kane? Now that I've broken these stats down, and I've given everyone these stats: 232 goals in 348 games, averages 30 goals per season over the last 6 years, 200 in 300 for Spurs, 20 in 24 in the Champions League. What really separates him from Lewandowski? So could anyone say if Harry Kane played for Bayern Munich, he couldn't replicate what Lewandowski is doing? And again, this is not me taking anything away from him, because the high leverage moments, maybe in the Champions League semi-finals and stuff like that, Lewandowski's there, he's performing. But let's not forget, people had question marks despite his record. People had question marks over Levin in the Champions League, because he did his thing against Real Madrid for Dortmund. Then it went a bit, why is he not delivered for Bayern Munich? Why is he not delivering the Champions League? He finally basically ended all critics last season. So is Harry Kane really that far off? Is Aguero really levels above Harry Kane? Because the only reason you can really tell me that he is because of trophies. But again, how has he had the opportunity? He's playing for Tottenham. So my question is, if Harry Kane played for Bayern Munich, do you think... So basically what it is does Harry Kane have to go and just win one league for him to now be up there and be called of one of the generation's best strikers or greatest strikers? Because he's already in the top 10 Premier League all-time scorers. Next season, I'm sorry guys, next season he's breaking Thierry Henry's record in the Premier League in a season less. Henry did it in 8. Harry Kane will probably do it in 7. So we are talking about one of the generation's great strikers. But because he hasn't got a trophy, does that mean he's not as good as a player? Because in all honesty, in my opinion, and I say this is why it's don't shoot the messenger. In my opinion, I have Lewandowski there, but I would have Harry Kane just below. And the only reason I have him there is because of consistency over years. But do I doubt Harry Kane consistency-wise? I don't. And let's not forget, he's had many, many injuries. Both seasons that Kane has been severely injured. So the last season that Kane had that he was fit, he scored 41 goals and he outscored Messi and Ronaldo in the calendar year. 56 goals in all over the calendar year. The 2 seasons that Kane has been struggling and he's been unfit, he's still basically 1 in 2 goals. 24 goals each season in about 40 games. The guy is an absolute killer in front of goal. Absolute killer. And I feel like people, maybe it's because it's the English thing, or maybe because you haven't seen him win a title. I'm not too sure, but I feel like if you mention Harry Kane next to Aguero, next to Aubameyang, not Aubameyang, against Let's 11, you say, nah, he can't chat to them. I think people are looking too much into the trophy side of things than the actual player. Because if we're talking about actual player, he's 100% world class. He's 100% one of the top 5 strikers in the world. And he's 100% going to go down as a legend of the game. Trophies, for me, I think he should leave Spurs just so he can end all critics. Just so, I don't want to use it in basketball terms. I don't really always like putting it in basketball terms, but because basketball is really, really about everything's winning. If you haven't won, they don't rate you. You're dead, basically, if you haven't won. Unless you're Allen Iverson for some reason. If you haven't won, you're nobody. But could you tell me that Kevin Durant was not going to be a legend of the game even if he didn't go to Golden State? He was always going to be a legend. He was always going to be a Hall of Famer. Always going to be a great player. He was always going to be better than 95% of the league. So why is it with Harry Kane, it's kind of like, no, you can't rate him until he wins a trophy? I think that's a bit wrong. It's good banter. I mean, if people are using it as banter, then fair enough, because I would use it as banter. You know what I mean? Good banter. I always say, Rashford's got a trophy over Harry Kane, all this rubbish. But if we're being honest ourselves, he's a great striker and he is one of the best. And as I said, I'm going to pose the question. If Harry Kane played for Bayern Munich, could you not see him scoring 40 goals a season like Lewandowski? Lewandowski scores 40 goals a season for Bayern. Harry Kane has hit 40 goals before for Spurs. He's hit 30 goals. He hits 24 when he's injured. As I said, averages 30 a season. Better numbers than Sergio Aguero, who we have ranked higher, like to the heavens. He's got better numbers than Sergio Aguero. And in my opinion, he offers more. Harry Kane, his passing, his hold up. I think Aguero, obviously, he's got the better dribbling and stuff like that. But what Harry Kane has to his game, I think he offers more. Probably than both of them. Drops deeper and gets involved in the game a bit more. So this isn't me saying he's better than any of them, but this is just me saying maybe people need to give him a bit more flowers. And 200 goals in 300 games is absolutely silly. And if it happened by somebody called Kaninho, we would say, oh my goodness, like we'll say this is groundbreaking stuff. So we gotta be a bit honest here. Do you know what I mean? And listen, I've been on Harry Kane. Listen, 2 years ago, Harry Kane broke my heart. He broke my heart with when he didn't square it to Sterling. The famous saying, square it to Sterling. He didn't do it. But hey, listen, Kane, I'm here to call a truce. I'm here to call a truce. Yeah, I mean, like, before people try and diss you and dunk on my head when I'm praising Harry Kane on Twitter and I'm talking about him, I'm calling a truce. You get me? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm calling a truce. I'm not sure if anyone knows about Getz. When Getz was in his beef with P Money, he said, how can they kill me? I'm suicidal. I'll take my own life before I let a rival. Hand on the Bible. I can't even remember how it goes, but that's what I'm saying. I committed suicide. Anyone that wants to dunk on my head, I've committed suicide already. So don't shoot the messenger. If it makes you mad, it makes you mad. But that's my little section on that. I want you guys to take in those numbers that I've mentioned. Of course, I'm not saying everything's about numbers. There's high leverage moments. There's those type of things. Do you know what I mean? Like, so when I'm talking about some certain players, they're so good that the only way you can separate them is through high leverage moments. What did they do in the cup final? What did they do in this? What did they do that? So that's perfectly fine if you guys have these players over Harry Kane or whatever. But in my opinion, I just think that he rightfully deserves to have his name next to these type of players. That's all it is. He rightfully deserves it. And all it takes for me is, let's be honest, if Harry Kane goes to Liverpool, he's going to win the league. If Harry Kane goes to City, he's going to win the league. Is that what's going to make people really say, oh, do you know what? Now Harry Kane is levels. Not really. Not really. It's kind of like the situation with Sarri. Let's talk about when Sarri was at Juventus. People didn't want to rate him. Sarri, no one rates Sarri. Oh, he was nearly man with Napoli. Blah, blah, blah. But what? As soon as he wins a league title, does that make him a great manager? Not really. It doesn't really change. It doesn't really change your opinion on him. If you think he's good, he was good before. After the title with Juventus, if you think he's bad still, he was bad. It doesn't really change anything. And that's how I see it with Harry Kane. He's got to that level where it's like, yeah, if you win a title, that's good. That's good for your legacy because all great players have basically won a title. But it's not really going to change your opinion on him. No, it's not going to change my opinion on him. So that's my little section on them. The next thing I wanted to quickly touch on, just a quick one, is I'm not too sure what Gareth Southgate is doing at the moment. In my opinion, I get that Greenwood hasn't really done much this season. He's got that goal against Leipzig and stuff. Hasn't really started many games, but so he didn't call him up. After that whole scandal with Foden and with the girls and stuff, I just think if you wanted to protect your players, you call up Greenwood in this recent fixtures. You didn't call he got sent home in the one before. He didn't get called up to the previous one because he's still under punishment. I just think if you wanted to protect your players and you knew what the media was saying, you knew what the media would do, when you call up when you call up Phil Foden, you should just call up Mason Greenwood just to protect him from what's going to happen. From what all the media noise. He's a 19-year-old kid and he's been put under pressure and now it looks like it's going to, what's going on with Mason Greenwood? For me, to protect your players, I think you should just call them up personally. That's my opinion. You called up 50 million right backs. Is there any real need in that? Not for me. Not for me. But, guys, how long was that one today? I'm just always trying to keep it around 20. Guys, that is me again. Of course, as I said.
Can we get a
yeah.
in Manchester United's loss, please?
You want to just... Oh, okay, fair enough. So, listen, I'm wearing this for a reason. I've gone back to my roots. QPR. I've gone back to my roots. You know what I mean? Like, Man United at the moment, it's not nothing that I haven't said before. That's the thing. You know when you feel like you're repeating yourself? Ollie out. Please. Ollie out. That's all I can really say about it. Some of the performances out there. And one thing, look, me, as I said, we've spoken about it before. People were either outraged or people were either saying, oh, Cam, you're spitting. When I was talking about Paul Pogba. That doesn't put things away from Bruno. You losing the ball 34 times in one football match is absolutely unacceptable. And I don't want people to think that, oh, I'll talk about Pogba, but you won't talk about Bruno. As I said, I don't do that. I will talk. If you play poor, you play poor. I don't really care who you are. Bruno losing the ball 34 times. I've mentioned before, if he's not scoring or he's not assisting, you really need to look out for him. I don't want to get my fraud watch lights out for him right now. But I'm telling you, you got to watch him closely. He's a player that, for me, needs to be controlled. He's doing whatever he wants at Man United at the moment because Ollie is not reeling him in. Goes where he wants, loses the ball how he wants. Every pass, for some strange reason, has to be a Hollywood ball. He needs to step it up. And listen, as I said, if people are going to have energy for Pogba, of course, Pogba has been here for 5 seasons. You've got to still keep the same energy for Bruno as well. Everyone's just got to keep the same energy for each player. That's all it is. If you're going to be angry at one, you can't be doing the most. Of course, there's some people that are going to get you a bit more riled up. Maguire might piss somebody off. Pogba might piss somebody off, whatever, for different reasons. But for me, Bruno's been put into a pedestal at Manchester United. Oh, people are saying, give him captain after 6 months. People are saying, oh, he saved us, blah, blah, blah. It's just too much is going on around him. He got given player of the year after only playing for us for 6 months. Of course, he's going to think that he's the messiah of the club. Somebody needs to reel it in my opinion, and just tell him, listen, this is still Manchester United. We're bigger than you, because I don't know why he's going on like that. But that should be Ollie's job. The first goal that I saw, I'm telling you, I've said it. I would not concede a goal at that if I turned up on a Sunday, half drunk, playing with a manager that doesn't even know my name, playing under a fake name. The manager he could just be a pub supervisor. We wouldn't concede a goal at that. For Manchester United to go into the Champions League, where all the top players in world football, everyone, all lights are on you, looking at a goal like that, absolutely disgraceful. It's an embarrassment. And listen, it looks like Poch is the one that's on everyone's lips at the moment. Poch. Let's see what happens. Because just like, word to my brother E, Pochettino, welcome to Manchester. But hey, guys, that is Don't Shoot the Messenger. It's myself, Cams, Culturecams. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with your people. And that is me. I'm out.